The USVI generation aircraft contract
The
was
aircraft
awarded
number
to Boeing.
is F-47.
I was shocked to hear the news. I even doubt whether Dongwang's brain is what. Boeing tells the truth. Although another aviation manufacturer, Martin F. and Roxy, great value for money. F-35 heart pit. But I still think the fall of the horse still represents authority in the field of American fighter jets. The final contract was awarded to Boeing. It shows that the American aviation field has available reached the point of unmanned. Can he get on? He can't get on. He doesn't have that strength. In this issue, the material will enter the version Buckle 7 to get on the bus. The announcement reads, the broadcasting excellence produced the F-15 and other advanced fighter jets. A large number of naval term service and is a bit shameless. F-15IM will be sold company to Productio. Yeah. Sold to Hero. Violet developed together. Only in the end. Sell to Bad Camp. Be broadcast. Just bought it. Almost never built an advanced fighter jet. The only one I've ever done broadcast fighter is an X-30 that was crushed by the fallen F-35. The idea of this plane is strange. You say I believe it was made by Hindustan Airlines. And in recent years, the broadcast defense sector can be described as 3.5 generations of F-150X, and the cost has skyrocketed. Have been delayed for a long time. Authority is and then there's that T-7 Honging code machine problem. First, production delays. Estimate. So, then I don't know where I got a batch of parts installed and found that the oxygen supply system has solving. There is also a problem with the system. The last lap is shaking over. And big silver horns. Stability and other design flaws have been known. Broadcasting decisio. Born in 737 Max. Flight control software to fix this flaw. Currently T4. The Honging trainer is expected to be delayed. 3 years won't be available until 2027. This is one. Let's see what happens on the air. And according to the urine of 737 Max, this plane is not. I'm sorry for the non-control of Boeing. The level can only be said to be good. Second is military non-control cannot be outsourced to Indians. It's even worse. Outside the trainer. Two aircraft recently broadcast to the U.S. Air Force. New KC-46A on an aerial tanker. Structural cracks were discovered. Directly lead to the entire KC-46A aerial tanker fleet grounded. At the same time, Boeing is required to correct the problem. The previous suspension of delivery of the KC-46A General aerial tanker of the U.S. Air Force said that after inspecting 50 KC-46A aerial tankers, 11 of them were found to have structural cracks. Of course, even without this food, KCC left a tanker. People hate dogs. According Air Force to Operational Evaluation Report Office, oil engine availability is 80%. The task capability requirement and the is 90%. A tanker. The mission completion rate in 2023 is even scarier. Is 2024. It is declining compared to 2023 for the whole year. 2025. There are structural problems. The effective task execution average rate decrease of 24%. And because of the broadcast supply the whole maintenance pace is slow. KC-46A a large number of problems have not been available once American for a long time. KC-10 tanker and KC-135. The department is about to have in light of such circumstances. American the Army must have been produced decades ago. KC-135 tanker launch life extension September 2024. Fired its Defense Department responsible Ted Colbert. So it's not me, Black it's Boeing. It's the black history of Boeing. Too many really. And problem cost, increased supply, chain instability. Don't mention appear above body, structural rupture, ballistic system problem, work, aircraft desig. Which defect is not fatal? The question is getting more and more and these problems occur. The F-15EX is broadcast based on the third generation semi-fighter, matured decades ago. There is also the T-7 Honging trainer. This is through a trainer aircraft. Can make so much nonsense. This is losing and finishing by flying after losing to Shen FEI lost the concubine and the redness. The previous KC-135 this is losing yourself. Now Dong Wang has awarded the 6th generation Boeing is a real contract to Boeing. Although Martin of Roxy, the company is ruthless in the 5th generation of machines. Mass production experience. What's on the air? There are many more. The blogger is analyzing the structure of the engine and the package are actually not related. No one to talk to. General Atomic. After all, at what level of broadcasting He is also equipped with a 6th-generation machine. That's it. Come out one by one. I doubt if it can be reconciled. Take a seat. Air Force says Wave. The company's contract also includes, built in a competitively priced manner, make F-47 low rate initial production model. At present, the newsly revealed is the F-47. F-Tail's $147 million does not include research and development at all when I see the cost in a bag of screws or 90,000 and today. 6th-generation just machine. $100 million. Don't ask me if I believe it or not. U.S. Air Force yourselves. Do you believe? We first rule out technical factors. Element because we already know through the broadcasting doesn't have any technical capabilities. That is political project. Let's start with Boeing. From Trump's declaration America is great again and manufacturing is revitalized. Yes. Symbolic unit representing American manufacturing. Boeing reciprocated. First, the company's general aircraft manufacturing company migrated to finance. Hart Brothers subsequently transferred to Huasheng, located near Arlington. Broadcast. Home represents technology turns to financial broadcast for political broadcasting and funny. 0 tons is for convenience. The Aviation Authority oversees the headquarters of the broadcast. Distance from U.S. Aviation Administration. There is still a long way to go. Land within a mile. The place is the Pentagon. And also love the Bureau, the unit is also attached. The new headquarters is more reliable. Of the United States. Aviation Authority. You can see from here. In the Pacific broadcast on the other side. Also stands up. Toast. At the same time, the number F-47 is Trump also is the 47th president of the United States. You must know that half a year before Dong the first flight of Shenphase to 6th-generation it directly swelled the face of the United States came to power less than 2 months ago. Turned the tide in an instant. MAGA. What does that mean? Think about it. People are brushing TikTok in bed and singing songs. Suddenly, the Chinese VI generation aircraft made its maiden flight. Dongwang is not a parasite. Reset. F-47 has it. The announcement that followed was even more charming. They say the F-47 took 5 years to develop, hundreds of hours of testing. It turned out to be what it is today. To be honest, I'm not convinced. If Biden has long been a positive propaganda. Can you leave it to Dong Huang? Here, comrades, I'm going to draw what does that mean? 5. The final year of Trump's term. That is to say, this plane is in Trump's first. The final year of the 45th president's 2020 in program. Trump's 47th term. The president's first year of success 2025. From head to head. If it weren't for the delay in the middle of the old wall lamp. In ancient China, there was a particular attention to hiding in troubled times. In case of chaos, why Biden's NGA would fail? Because of the eunuchs under Biden. Junji green legs, men and womb, sterility. Today King Dong is when building New Zhongqing Old America Yudaozhua. Ancient F-47 was to assist Dongwang in his great cause. Who says Americans don't know how to stand up? Who says America doesn't know who the fish head is for? Take a look at what construction site they have developed. 1 more year and 1 less year is a big problem. So understanding of politics, so knowledgeable. How could it not be selected by the U.S. military? Thanks to Gift of the Times at Northrop Grumman. After withdrawing from the US VI generation machine bidding, and in recent months, fallen horses are hung up and hammered by Musk almost every day. In Musk's mouth, it has become a garbage project. In the early days of Musk's SpaceX, Ma took Boeing and built a launch alliance by bribing. SpaceX was directly excluded from the US military space program. The U.S. military has passed a technical authentication flow. At that time, the government had certified the transportable payload, but SpaceX was. It is still in the early stages of the certification process. SpaceX does not have. The actual business cannot complete the certification. You can't do it without certification. Get the order. It's a closed loop. This set of certifications almost. Sex investors. Confidence collapsed. And finally, wait for an aerospace startup, so that SpaceX can participate in the U.S. military. The most profitable project 10 years ago, Musk's SpaceX, killed by a llama. Then there's the cool striped giant star, whose now Musk has the Ministry of Government inside the United States. You may not know very well, Musk, what is the specific status in the United States now? A few days ago, in order to clarify the purpose of the huge expenditure of the U.S. Department of Defense, Top secret plan for combat. Hope to tell. Most programs of the Ministry of Defense cannot be cut. This slide shows how the United States is going to respond to various conflicts. The following plot. The first is a sign of threat from the panda's home. Warning! And various options. These will be submitted to Trump for decisio. And then, this was leaked to the New York Times. It caused an uproar. Here's the problem. What right does Musk have to contact such an important secret? And he himself, with the panda family having huge commercial interests. Of course, this is also sufficient to Musk's current status. A few happy, a few sad. And Leoma D dropped the 6th generation while still being pressured by Musk. Trump decided to launch a program the Golden Dome Space Defense Program. Among them, the SpaceX will be an important part of the entire space defense program. So no idea. In the end, it's all about business. About a month ago, Brown then appointed a retired Lieutenant General. Dan Kane served as chairperson of the new Chiefs of Staff Contact Council. According to U.S. an officer who serves as chairperson of the Joint Chiefs Vice President of the Council of Ministers, Chief of Staff, Chief of Naval Air Force Chief of Staff, or the commander of the Joint Combatant Command, then asked the person appointed by Trump, Lieutenant General Dan King, served in it. What position? And the answer is none. And before that, Dan Kane has retired from the U.S. Go to the Army. Venture capital the salary is only for January. It is estimated that he is going to use his connections to fish for the project. To be killed by Dong in February. Of course, King Dong's appointment is also. Article 2. If the president deems such actions are necessary in the national interest. It seems that Tom thinks appointed as a retired investment for the head advisor of the U.S. military. Of course you will. Ask why. Why can such a person go? There are currently the official statement is December 2018. Kane and President Thompson meeting at Assad Air Base in Iraq. Trump delivered his Christmas address and heard from the ground commander. Kane told Trump, just increase resources and lift restrictions on engagement. They can quickly defeat the IC. This was appreciated by President Thompson. The diet argument that day Kane was holding a mug. Tell Mr. Thompson, I support you. I respect you. I would kill for you. And then take off your cap. The hats that will make America great again buckled on his head. And they had the humility to say, no way. You are a U.S. military officer. How can I wear Megan's hat? How bad is the impact? What if the Democrats make a fuss about this? Then Kane said it was okay, sir. I don't fucking care. Confirmed a report from Fox News. Maybe it's Trump's dictatio. Now everyone knows. Well, why can it be changed from a retiree President to a retiree? Of the Joint Chiefs of Staff? From this pile, piece by piece, you can see the style of the Trump team and attitude. So I say that today in the United States, Generation to explore the United States with a little technology and performance. It's not that the armor is bad. The demise of a daimyo has never been a setback for a knife and a goo. The reason why the Beiyang Navy really failed is not bubble. Slow. These are just the symptoms of the problem. It means that the inside is no longer humanoid. If Tangu is really preparing for battle, then the contract can only be set. Because even if you fall, you shouldn't. But in a fighter jet, it's like a first-class guy. It's not that it won't be able to touch porcelain now and because in the future. Of this kind of. Even if this project is more than rest half of the over. Two. United States Air Force is probably about to end. Powerful, and I can only learn from the rapid collapse of the American Nadia. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you for your support. See you next time. Bye.